Greetings everyone to our English interdisciplinary project Is Doubt Essential to Faith? Our group consists of me, Christopher William, Liko Arfe Anggara, Michael Hadi Susanto, and Michael Theodric. Please enjoy your stay here. The background for this problem started when we, the students, watched Leslie Hazelton's TED Talk, the one where she talked that doubt is essential to faith.
So, what is the meaning of faith? Well, based on the dictionary, faith means the complete trust or confidence in someone or something. It, it can also mean the theological virtue defined as secure belief in God and a trusting acceptance of God's will. Uh, One of the examples in the real world is, for example, people have their own faith in their own beliefs on what they believe. So some people have faith on some religion and some don't. And the next one is, what is doubt? Doubt, based on the dictionary, means a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. So, well, basically, the example is that sometimes something irrational happens, like something that doesn't make any sense or doesn't fit into the logic of our minds. So, naturally, people actually will have doubted. So, next one is uh, in the TED Talk, the speaker named Leslie made her own thesis. So basically, the thesis means that we might think that doubt and faith actually fights each other, but actually, if you think about it, doubt and faith supports each other. So basically, in this thesis, it states that doubt is essential to faith, and faith is rational. It's something normal that we do, and doubt is not imperfection. Why is that? Because doubt actually helps faith. So, for example, when you believe in something and people try to deny it, you actually fight for your faith. That's why doubt helps faith. And, and because of that, if we fight for our faith, then people who doubt us actually will fight back. So it actually supports each other. So one of the examples is that we always say that terrorists are fanatic people, and that is actually because they believe in something without a single doubt. And that is weird because based on Leslie's thesis, without doubt, that means they actually don't have any faith.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Liko Arfe Anggara and I will be explaining our group's stance in this discussion, which is about is doubt essential in faith. And our group's stance is faith requires doubt and humility, which means doubt is a very essential part of faith itself. You may be saying that faith and doubt are two contradicting terms, and at a single glance, that might be true. Doubt can be said as being unsure or uncertain about what you believe in. Meanwhile, faith is believing in something without any uncertainty or being completely sure about it. And at a glance, those two definitions may be contradicting with each other's. Faith is often more identical with the word certitude, which is the exact opposite of the word doubt. So, why is doubt essential in faith? By definition, faith and doubt may be two things that contradict with each other. Then, why is doubt essential in faith? Hold on for a few minutes and I will explain to you why doubt is essential in every faith. We believe things because we see repeatable evidence conveyed, but we do not ultimately know the truth. By default, we do not know anything, which means we do not have anything to base our faith in. However, doubt can help us get these evidences by continuously asking questions and getting the answers which will become the evidence to those we believe in. Faith is shown by being certain or sure that whatever we believe is unquestionable and indisputable. We can only get this certainty if we have enough evidence to base our faith in, and these evidences can only be get if we doubt in what we believe in and then continuously asking questions about that and getting answers which will become the evidence which will make us certain about what we believe in. Faith requires doubt and humility. We, as human beings, are very limited in knowledge. We do not know every single thing that there is in this world. By saying that doubt is not essential in faith, it is saying that we know everything and therefore we are completely certain in what we believe in. That is definitely contradicting with the reality, which is we are limited in knowledge. Therefore, doubt is indeed very essential to convey more evidence as a foundation to our faith. Doubt is very essential to make our faith stronger and grow day by day. Faith without doubt is rational. And I can tell you one thing for sure, that faith is not something which is based on irrationality. A strong faith is a faith that is based on rational evidence. This rational evidence can only be conveyed if only you doubt in what you believe in and ask questions and receiving the answers which will be the evidence to what we believe in.
Greetings everyone, my name is Christopher William and I will be continuing from Arve's last conclusion that faith is essential in our life and doubt plays a huge role in creating the faith that we have. Our response to the TED Talk is that after we analyze it, we find out that because Muhammad, as a person who is a human, he felt scared and doubtful of the revelation that was given to him. Because of that doubt, he can continually ask himself about the truth and finally realizing that his belief is actually true and thus he can create his faith to Allah. As quoted by me from the TED Talk, so the man who fell flat down the mountain that night trembled not with joy, but with a stark primordial fear. He was overwhelmed not with conviction, but by doubt. And that panic disorientation, that sundering of everything familiar, that daunting awareness of something beyond human comprehension can only be called a terrible awe. From this quote from the TED Talk, we can see that Muhammad is fearful and doubtful of what he has been experienced. He thought that he was possessed by jinn and that he need to kill himself, as told to us by Leslie. But because he continually to ask himself and grow in doubt, he can develop his faith to the fullest. Leslie also pointed out that if we abolish all doubt and what's left is not faith, but absolute heartless conviction, What does she meant by this? What she meant by this sentence is that without doubt, we are not faithful. For example, if we believe in something, at first we need to ask to ourselves, why do we believe that? That is doubting. With that doubt, you can continually grow yourself and become more faithful. Meanwhile, other person who don't try to ask themselves on what they are believing in is just filled with conviction. They are not faithful. It's just pure fanaticism. Well, but after deeper research, we found out that there's a slight difference between what Leslie said with the original source, that is the Quran 69 verse 105, the Al-Alaq or the cloth, and the Sahih Bukhari Hadith 987 and verse 111. From there, our group learned that Muhammad was indeed doubtful, but he did not bring that doubt with him after he went down the mountain. He was fully resolute after he was told by the angel Jibril that he was speaking the truth. So there's some false information also in what Leslie has said.
And as such, we come to this last question of how does the Bible view doubt? With anger? With mockery? Is it something that is normal? Or should it even exist in the heart of his people? We must come to this verse, that is Rome 14 verse 23. But whoever has doubts is condemned if they eat, because their eating is not from faith, and everything that does not come from faith is sin. So why is there doubt? We learn that doubt is a sin based upon the Bible, because doubt means that there is less faith in it, because it is not full of faith. So why is it considered a sin? If it is a sin, then why are there doubt? It is because we are sinful by nature that we are unable to have faith in God Almighty, Creator of all, Sustainer of all, at all times. Because it is in fact the sinful nature of human itself that we are doubting God, that we don't have a fullness of faith. It is an undeniable consequence of our sin, one that comes into our spiritual life without us desiring it. It just comes into us. Why? Because we are sinful by nature, and this sin makes us unable to truly have faith in God, in the Almighty God, to truly put ourselves in His hand, to rise in Him, to rest ourselves in Him. Why? Because we are unable to see Him in our real life, and it makes us unable to truly place our heart in His hand. Even though we have been saved, we are to walk in trials and tribulations in this world, and this could lead us to doubt God, which we are unable to see physically, as our soul are blinded by the sin, blinded of God's glory and mercy. What about some spiritual giants themselves? We see that even John the Baptist, even Peter, John Calvin, and Mother Teresa has ever doubted in some parts of their life. But what is different about them? And who is our role model itself? There is Christ, but not Jesus. Never had he doubted his Father When he prayed in Gethsemane, he placed his whole life in Father's will. Let thy will be done and not my own will. When he cried out in his death, why has you forsaken me? He understood that his God will forsake him as he must bear the judgment upon him for the sin of his people. Our role model is the Lord, to never doubt and has faith upon God. What does it mean? We need to be like Christ himself, to place all of our faith into him, into his unfailing hand. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the convictions of things not seen. Hebrews 11 verse 1. What if you doubt? People who doubt are not people who must be condemned. On the other hand, God has said, be merciful on those who have weak faith, on those who doubt. We must be merciful to the people who are having doubt, may it be yourself or others. We are not to live in doubt, but we are to live in faith. True faith is stable, it is steadfast and unshakable. It gains us victory that overcomes the world. 1 John verse 5 and 4. And if we doubt, we should cry out to God, I believe, help my unbelief. Mark 9 verse 24. To turn my unbelief into faith. As such, what could we learn? The Bible has clearly stated that doubt is a sin. It is something that we should not live for, but it is also something that is normally happening. Because why? Because of our sinful nature. But what is our purpose then? That is for us to overcome this doubt. From who? By God's help and only by God's mercy and love. As such, we must not live in this doubt, but we must stand and live in faith.
Thank you for listening and have a good day.